Happy Hump Day, my Young and the Restless fans. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Wednesday as we have a horrendous Wednesday going down in Oregon. And yeah, we got to talk about it. And also stay tuned for my rant about this because, yeah, I got a lot to say. But the Newmans Vanish and Billy, Audra, and Nate are concerned. We have Jordan being on a rampage with a knife in her hand, and Claire has an apology as Claire also gives the Newmans the antidote just in time. Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS Soaps, both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. This is your Young and the Restless recap for November 29th. And without any further ado, let's talk about this crazy episode. First up, we see Audra reaching out to Nikki over at Newman Media, realizing that first, the Newmans are missing. She apologizes for interrupting Nikki's vacation as she leaves a message, and she speaks of a business concern. So now we're over at Crimson Lights. Billy and Nate finds themselves in the dark about Victoria's certain departure after Nikki having a seizure, supposedly. Now, as they try to piece the puzzle together, tensions are rising. As Billy and Nate frantically try to reach for the missing Newmans, Audra reveals her struggle trying to connect with Nikki and Claire. Now, the team of them contemplates involving the authorities, but the question is, they're wondering about whether or not they will draw unwanted attention. And of course, the suspense is building. Now, Nate, dealing with the aftermath of his falling out with Victoria, is facing a dilemma. And Audra, unrelenting, we see after Billy leaves, decide to have a conversation about offering Nate a job, emphasizing her confidence and success. The question is, can Audra actually lure Nate away? We actually see them going on a date, and we see a little bit of flirting going on between these two. Boy, I tell you, you signing up for the wrong thing. And didn't she supposedly team up with Kyle? But now she wants him, meaning Nate, to work alongside of her? Interesting. So now the drama over at the Oregon Lake House is escalating as Nick faces a dangerous confrontation with Jordan. She slashed him in his abdomen. And of course, they're desperately trying to get an ambulance. And then, of course, there's this whole conversation and chaos about Claire. Victor and Nikki confront Jordan's threats upstairs. Victor, undeterred, warns Jordan about the consequences of her action. They tried to make their escape. Then we see Claire is handing out antidotes and, making sure that they can get the poison out of the system. We finally see Claire apprehended by the cops, apologizing for everyone for her role in this whole chaos. Victoria is questioning how can someone so bright spiral into madness. And of course, Victor said that she's crazy just like her auntie. But the girl was lied to. We all can see that. However, with everybody leaving the building, Jordan escaped and she is actually hiding in a wall upstairs. Okay, so let me just go ahead and jump into my whole rant about this particular episode. There has been a buildup over the last several months of the Adam bashing, okay? I know a lot of us talked about it on the live chat. I've seen people talk about it on social media, which gave up somewhat of a buildup of Adam being the hero. Now, I know some people didn't want Adam in that position, not again, especially after he's already given a kidney and saved Nick's life and other situations as well. Here's my issue with this. Even if they did not want Adam to be a part of the Oregon storyline, which I kind of touched on in a separate video about a week and a half ago, because everybody was expecting Adam to be the one to save the day. And then there was some news coming out that he was not even part of this whole storyline. Well, we actually got the answer to that in this episode. But even back at home in Genoa City, the persons that was actually looking for the Newmans was Billy, Audra, and Nate. This would have even been an opportunity to put Adam and maybe even Abby in this situation, as they are part of the family, to have them wonder, like, what the heck has happened? Well, I haven't been able to reach anybody. Anybody heard from my dad or my siblings? Or they were nowhere to be found. What was the purpose of all of this? If you wanted to bring Claire into this whole storyline or on show as a new character, you had to go through all of this. Now, I understand they unearthed a storyline from back in 1993, which would have been 30 years ago. And of course, bringing Cole back on the scene. Of course, they've been bringing folks in and out of the studio over this past year, especially since the 50th anniversary. But it's like, okay, at least make it realistic that your family is looking for you. Remember, I mean, Adam was just asking last week, like, I haven't heard from anybody. And that was the last thing that we heard, which was before Thanksgiving. However, now this is what we do. Number one, he wasn't part of the storyline to save the day. Okay, fine. But he could have at least been the one, instead of having Billy reach out to Nicholas and talk to him. They should have had Adam wondering and worried about where his sibling and his dad was. Because look like now we're going to go right back to the same old thing, because they could easily say, well, while we was out stuck in Oregon, they were more worried about us than you were. You were probably busy out here trying to do blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about how this whole storyline unfolds. Because I know next week Claire is going to be back in Genoa City. She's going to be facing answers for her behavior and everything. But my question is, what was all this for? I mean, yes, it was entertaining. I got to give it to them. But okay, so I'm going to stop rambling. Let me know your thoughts. This was your recap for Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. Stay tuned for the bold and the beautiful recap also for today. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.